Ladies and gentlemen, today's date is June the 25th. I'm right here on the corner of Fillmore and Sutter. Fillmore and Sutter at the Pizza Inferno restaurant, where they're going to have today's debate of all the District 5 candidates that are running for supervisors. And yours truly, Ace Washington, will cover this and see what we get out of this. This is Ace on the keys.
City Hall and the mayor seems to want to care more about these giant companies that come to San Francisco, but haven't been in the neighborhood, haven't been part of the community for years. And I think we have to do a better job at helping those small businesses. So streamline the process of permitting. I think we can look at the tax burden on those small businesses, and we can look at other issues, including transit issues that affect those small businesses. So those would be three of my main issues. But lastly, I think one thing that I bring to the table are ideas. I like ideas. I like new ideas. If we're talking about history, for example, the lower Fillmore area is a very historic area, and I think what we need to do is we need to rally around that history. I think the city needs to put its muscle behind museums. I think the Haight is another place that should have a museum. Tourists should be able to come to the Haight, and the city could be making revenue from having tourists come to the Haight and go to a museum and have the coalescence of our history, which is the Haight is a very historic place. So just ideas like that, I think the supervisor could have a big influence on. Again, my name is Andrew Resignado. My nickname's Ellard, so you might see that I call myself Andrew Ellard Resignado sometimes, and I can tell you that story some other time. But I'm honored to run, and I hope you would consider me as the representative of your district, and I appreciate you for coming out today.
Selby is the floor.
So I too want to, first of all, thank this wonderful place, Pizza Inferno. People kept asking me, they said, so what's the political club that's putting this on? And I'm like, Pizza Inferno, that's who it is. And I actually am a small business person. Not only do I support small business, but I am a small business person. And I'm extremely, extremely grateful that places like this, who struggle every day to make ends meet, are thinking of creative ideas of how to bring people in. So what I will say to all of you is buy pizza, buy beer, help these folks out, because we need these places. These are the places that make San Francisco very special. So I want to thank David, and I want to thank Peter also for putting this together. So my name is Tina Selby, and I am running for District 5 Supervisor. And I have been in this district for about 13 years. I'm a mom. I've got 2 kids. I have a 14-year-old who's trying to get something at the bar right now. And I've got an 11-year-old. One goes to Balboa, the other's going to Presidio, just graduated from Rosa Parks. I'm also a small business owner, as I said. I've had my business for 10 years, and I'm a neighborhood activist. And I know firsthand the challenges that we all face here in San Francisco to try and get our way around and to try and get things done. I know about red tape when it comes to actually having a business and running a business. I know what it's like to have your rents go up as a renter and not know what to do. I know what it's like, and I'm on the San Francisco Transit Riders Union, so I know what it's like when that bus doesn't come and you're late for whatever it is, your appointment. I actually don't have a car. We walk, or we take Muni, or we take city car share wherever we go. So I am extremely pro public transit, but also I recognize how frustrating it can be. I also know, I'm going to tell you a little bit about my specific neighborhood and my own story. I know about the good that there is in District 5. And District 5 is the heart of our city. And there are some amazing people in our city and in the heart of our city. One of them, a good friend of mine who lived across the street from me, his name was Unicorn Escobedo. And Unicorn was not only by greeting everybody who walks by and making them know that this is their neighborhood too. And then there's Mary Lee Kane. And Mary Lee Kane is a preschool teacher. She taught not only my kids at John Muir Elementary, which is in District 5, but she also taught a lot of other kids and got them on the right road, started on the right road with education. So those are some of the amazing, fantastic people in District 5. But it wasn't all good. I moved into this neighborhood in 1999, and in 2007 there was a double homicide across the street from my house. There was a 20 and a 21-year-old man, two men, who were killed, shot point blank, right across the street from my house. And because of that, I'm here today, because I realized that we had to get together as neighbors, as merchants. We had to work with the supervisor. We had to get the police involved. We couldn't be a containment zone for them anymore. We actually had to get the police involved, and we needed to turn around our neighborhood. And that's what we did. We took our neighborhood, which on my side of the street, people told me they wouldn't walk on my side of the street when I moved in, and we turned it into a safe, thriving, and inclusive Lower Haight. We created the Lower Haight Merchant and Neighbor Association, where we do art walks. We did a 2,000 square foot mural at Laguna and Haight Street as a gateway to the Lower Haight. We do safety things. We work with the Wiggle. Now we have the place that we want to have, and that's what I want to do also when I get to City Hall. I am the president of that association, the Lower Haight Merchant and Neighbor Association. I'm also the outgoing vice president of the PTA at Rosa Parks Elementary, which is in the Western Addition, across the street from some people at that table over there. I'm a board member of the Friends of Harvey Milk Rec Center, which is actually in DuBose, and I'm on the executive committee of the San Francisco Transit Riders Union. Now, why am I telling you all that? Well, I got involved in all those things because I love this place, and because working with your community is how you get results. When you work with your community, you get results, and that's what that experience I want to take to City Hall. I want to work for affordable housing and safety and jobs. I want to make sure that the people who live in this city and who made this city great can afford to live in this city. I want to work for trust between the police and us. I know that small business is the economic engine of San Francisco. I want City Hall to treat it that way. Tax breaks should not just be for Twitter. Permits should be easier to get, and they should cost less. I also want ideas to percolate up from the merchants and the residents. As a grassroots neighborhood candidate, I promise to listen and to give you a voice at City Hall. Together, we can make a safe and thriving District 5. I'm Thea Selby, and I hope for your support for District 5 Supervisor. Thank you very much.
Hope Johnson, whose name I didn't have on the city list, unfortunately, but I'll give Ms. Johnson. I understand that she has registered for the supervisor's post.
Hi, my name is Hope Johnson. I have a slow-moving campaign. I just decided to enter, but like Jerry Brown, this long, extended campaigning is really draining. That's what I think. I have lived in District 5 for about 7 years, and I've worked in San Francisco, in downtown San Francisco, since about 1994. For the past 2 years, I have been on the Sunshine Ordinance Task Force, and for the past year, I was the chair. For those of you who don't know, the Sunshine Ordinance Task Force monitors compliance by the city with the city's Sunshine Ordinance. It's the open government laws. And the reason I decided to run is that in seeing, we would hold hearings that the public is trying to get information from the city. And in seeing how the city operates, the public is really at a huge disadvantage. And I'm really disappointed in the current set of local and state politicians who make a lot of promises and say they'll do one thing, but when it comes down to actually doing it, we end up hearing a lot of excuses. And a lot of things get hidden. I've heard people up here talking about the Twitter tax break. One of the things hidden in there is that they're going to get their own Muni line. We have to pay for that. So they're getting a lot more than a tax break. And these are the things that I think people need to ask the hard questions about. So I have a voting record. We recently had a joint meeting with the Ethics Commission because we want the Ethics Commission to enforce the complaints that the public brings trying to get this kind of information. We helped some of the Muni drivers who during Prop G got in hard questions. There's things in District 5 that I think are really important that are just regular, common, everyday things, like traffic calming on Oak and Bell. It's incredibly noisy. I don't drive because I don't want to. I ride Muni. In the morning, the 5 down McAllister. In District 5, one of the things I think I see happening is in the neighborhoods in Lower Divisadero, below Divisadero Street, are getting neglected, and the neighborhood up above Divisadero is getting a lot more benefit. And when you take the 5 in the morning, there'll be 2 5s bumper to bumper. And then another one doesn't come for 15 minutes. So as you go down into the housing developments for the people who are already at a disadvantage, they can't get on the bus. And there's got to be some common sense to that. We've got to have some kind of common sense regulation, not some theoretical, we're going to make Muni, run in some theoretical. It has to be realistic of what we're seeing happening. The other thing is I think government is just too big. I support small businesses. I live near Divisadero and McAllister, where we're getting a buy right, we're getting a brewery. But I'm disappointed in the way that City Hall says they're going to help small businesses. And what did they do? Mayor Lee didn't get money for small businesses. He created a whole new position down at City Hall that'll just take up more money when that money could be going to the small businesses. And they're supposed to be able to help small businesses through the red tape, but that is not working. That's not something that's working. So I'm running because I think that we also need to connect the salaries of the people who represent us to the way that average people's salaries are going. The people in city government make a lot of money. So if you elect me as a demonstration of that, I am going to take, I figure that the average person's salary has dropped by 30%. So I would take 30% off of my salary because I think it should be connected to what average people are making and try to do some sort of a program in connection with the schools so that young people can have jobs. Whenever we hear the current politicians talk about jobs, they make resolutions asking other people to do something about the jobs, but someone needs to demonstrate a realistic and real thing to do. So that is why I'm running. Thank you very much, and I appreciate your letting me.
Okay. Next up is John Rizzo. Welcome, Mr. Rizzo. Mr. Rizzo, a hand, please.
I'm in a debate right now. I'm at the debate right now. I'm going to call you back.
Hi, I'm John Rizzo. Thank you for having me. Can everyone hear me out there? Yeah. Great. I'm running for supervisor to use the experience that I've had in government as an elected official on a wider scale. I've lived in District 5 for 27 years, raised a daughter here. She went through the public schools. So I've seen District 5 in the various changes up and down, as it were. But it's a great place to live, and we all love it here. I don't know anyone who says I hate it here in District 5. But it has some problems, and the city has some problems that need real solutions that we need to solve. So I'm president of the Community College Board at City College. I was elected twice by the voters, and during my 6 years there, I've worked on some pretty tough problems, including corruption when I first got there, severe budget crisis, cuts from the state that are greater than, education is just really suffering in this state. And in spite of that, I've been able to move forward on a positive agenda at City College. We've created new programs that help people. For instance, we've created working with people, laid them all off, took the money and hired executives at six-figure salaries. And that's wrong. That's got to change. At City College, I pushed an effort that did the opposite. We reduced the numbers of our executives by 25%. So this is the kind of thing that needs to be done. I'm also a long-time environmental activist. I was president of the local Sierra Club chapter and I work in the green energy field. So I've been on both sides of the podium, so to speak, as an elected official, but also as an advocate, asking people for things, asking electeds for things, working with the private sector, working with electeds. One of the things I'm very proud of is the Go Solar SF program, which has quadrupled the number of solar installations in the city. It's put solar panels on poor people's houses. There are a cluster of these in the Bayview, for instance, because of the way it's structured, that low-income people get the biggest break. It's also hired people. It's created hundreds of jobs. The mayor right now has slashed this program. His priority is not in creating green jobs. His priority is creating software jobs, but he doesn't think there's enough money for it. This is a problem. It's been cut in half, and we've already seen the number of installations cut in half. There's a direct correlation. I want to restore that. I want to grow that. I want to have more of these kinds of programs that stimulate the economy by going out, working with the private sector and the public sector together to help all of us. Another thing is Muni. I'm a daily Muni rider. I have a Clipper card in my pocket that I use every day. And, you know, I couldn't believe it when the mayor was quoted in the Bay Citizen last year saying, Muni is not a priority. That was the headline. You know, Muni is not a priority. How could he say that? Well, he doesn't ride the bus, for one. And I ride the bus. I think Muni is a priority.
Come to the floor. Come on, make your appearance now.
Daniel Short?
You know, a wise man once said that besides the love in your heart, the greatest gift you can give another human being is your labor. And with that said, I want to thank each and every one of you for laboring on behalf of District 5, for taking notice and engaging in the issues that shape this city. District 5 is truly a family of people ready, willing, and able to serve. And I too come from a family of service. Now, I never fought in the Vietnam War. I never experienced it. I wasn't even born until it was all over. But nonetheless, I cannot help but feel that my life has been shaped by that war's battles. My father was a combat soldier. He came home from Vietnam with many of the same ailments as other veterans, including post-traumatic stress disorder, which left him 100% disabled. Ladies and gentlemen, I watched as my father, an extremely proud man, haggled and flat out begged the government that he had given so much up for. He begged them for benefits. It wasn't until my father, along with other veterans, gave voice to the unexcusable mistreatment of veterans.
I think we'd be better served, right, if we just broke up into groups. The candidates will stay around and approach those candidates who we thought were interesting and ask them the questions that are closest to your heart and mind. Right. So I thank everybody for coming. This was a very nice turnout. Mr. Fogel, who owns this business, has to make a living.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I got here a little late and I missed London. I missed London. I got a chance to see what he said. Daniel, my brother, he didn't. Landry, I think he's out the race. He flew into town. She was here. He was here. He spoke. Yes, he was here.
How you doing,
She
bro?
didn't show up. Hey, how you doing, man? How's everything?
All right, man.
Alrighty. Usually I missed him too. Huh?
Professional photographer.
Yeah, you know, I try to report him and do my job. Yes, sir. And ladies and
Who
gentlemen,
you work for, sir?
a community news service. I got my own company, yeah.
Oh, cool.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, hey, tell me, I missed, who did I miss? I missed David. Did you see
Julian.
David? Julian. What do you think about him?
I think that District 5 is going to have a real challenge. And in this instance...
This is Sharon Hewitt, my sister of Angel.
Hi, and in this instance, I think ranked choice voting will do us well.
Right. Excuse me, I'm going to get them as they come out. I'll get right back to you. Excuse me, sir, would you like to have a comment about your running for 5th district? What made you decide you want to run in 1 minute?
Well,
And where's your name, first of all?
my name is Daniel Everett. I'm an attorney in San Francisco. I do a lot of my work on the criminal defense side for the San Francisco Courts Indigent Defense Council.
Okay.
Essentially advocating on behalf of dirt poor residents here in the city. The issues that shape that area of my practice really tuned me in to some of the changes that need to take place here in the city. Along with that, I also give back, in a sense, a non-profit way by hosting a radio and television show called Folk Law. That's Law for Ordinary Folk. Because of that, I got involved with some of the issues shaping the district, and I could not sit idly by and watch my district go through some of the negative changes that I saw. So I threw my hat in the ring, and my hat is in the ring. I'm not in the race to be on the ballot. I am in the race to win. And this campaign is moving forward with positive energy, focus, dedication, and passion.
Well, you sound confident, man, and you're a great orator, and so people won't have no problem in understanding your message. I think my name is Ace, and I'll have you on my debate once I have it. Thanks for your words.
Thank you so much.
Just gonna leave.
Who's this
So,
black
ladies,
guy?
we're back here.
Who's this black guy?
Which black guy?
The one that
Samoan,
did it.
Big Samoan?
The,
No,
the guy that did it.
Oh, he works for the cab company. He thought he'd put it together because the city's messing with the cabs.
He's a cab driver?
Yeah, he's a cab
He's
driver.
with Dean Clark?
I don't know.
Oh, no. You gotta get him.
You talking about the guy with the gray hair? Bring him on back here then. This is Ace. That's Sharon Hewitt. One of the ones that helped her got her show. She's very popular
I
now on
want to
Channel 29.
interview with him.
I heard Channel 29 is black today.
Wait a minute. I want to interview with him. I want to deal in the context. I want to interview with him.
Oh, here it
Because
comes,
black
here it comes.
people can't keep
Here it comes. Here he is.
Hey, listen, I want to interview with you. I understand you work with Dean Clark.
No, I know who he is, but we haven't done any work together.
You're a cab driver?
Yeah.
Okay, I have another young man who is from Sunnydale who has also been working around organizing. And it's important that, given the loss of African Americans, we need to know each other who's out here doing stuff. And so Ace is a leading journalist, and I have a TV show.
Oh, okay.
And I've been advocating around African American issues in this city for 30 years.
All right. It's been tough road out.
Yeah, and I was one of the conveners of the Out-Migration Task Force.
Yeah, I'm familiar with the work.
Okay, I called for that.
Oh, okay.
And I was chair of the Public Safety Committee, so I'm really happy. My name is Sharon Hewitt. I'm on Facebook. You can find me.
Did I give you my card?
No.
Okay.
I'd like to get one also.
I also have been working in Visitation Valley around the burgeoning issues of black homicides in the city.
They've been having a couple out there, as a matter of fact. I've been reading the papers,
Right?
shootings, yeah.
For 10 years.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure that we stay connected.
This is me.
Okay. Oh, David.
You got another card?
Fabulous.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know,
Thank you.
give me a shout.
Yeah, I will. I will call you and talk about your leadership in taking this initiative. I'm very, very happy that you did it.
Wonderful.
Hi.
Wonderful. Okay, got it. Hey, let me have John. I'm just trying to interview everyone. What is your main purpose of getting in the race? Can we just get our viewers to find out what's going on? What are your primary purposes to get into District 5?
Well, I want to fix problems. I have an engineering background. I'm really results oriented, and I have some experiences that I think City Hall needs to have.
All right. Well, I'll be following you through the campaign and looking forward to having my own debate. And good luck to you.
All right. Thank you.
All right. All right.
Thank you very much for coming. I appreciate that. I hope you enjoyed it, and I thought the turnout was good. I was encouraged by it, and I'm thinking of trying to do this at Mama Toby's down on.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, wait for some other candidates to come out, but they're in there legally, particularly London. Oh yeah, right. I'm sorry. Let's get back to you.
It's okay.
So go ahead now.
I was just saying that I'm very excited about the beginning of this dialogue. I think District 5 is really, really very fortunate in the quality and caliber of candidates that District 5 will be selecting this next November. I think one of the more critical issues and why I'm here is that no one supervisor can do very much of anything alone. It is important that the candidate that's selected is aware that they will have to join up with other colleagues on the board to bring home the kind of benefits that each one of these candidates talked about. There's some great candidates. I've pretty much already decided on 3 of them, and you'll be hearing more about that later.
All righty, thank you, Sharon Hewitt. That's my sister of angels. She's here on the corner of Fillmore and Sutter, y'all. I'm waiting for London to come out so I can just say one thing, and I'm on my way. Bye-bye. Pleasure meeting you. All right.
Great photo.
All righty. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the last people coming.
Out and call the police.
Yeah. I'm still waiting for London to come out, y'all. I'm still waiting. I just asked Queen Bee if she's going to be alone. She said she's in there lobbying. And she's doing a good job. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Ace.
Just working hard.
Hey, what's up, Madrid?
How goes it?
Your boy didn't show up, man.
Listening session.
Oh,
you're gonna come
okay, yeah,
to.
I'm down for that.
I got the.
I know how you think.
I got the Holy Ghost.
You got the Holy Ghost?
Okay, Ace, are you gonna walk with me or you getting a ride?
No, I'm walking with you.
Are you walking with her? Why am I waiting here?
Well, I was going to tell you I need to talk to her.
Oh, then you need to
No,
walk.
I need to talk to you. Can I get my candidate?
So let her
I'm
campaign, and we'll all walk to.
Okay.
Good, let's talk. I'm sorry I missed your little talk there.
So why can't I get the images on a thingy?
Okay, what I could do is I put them I'll give them to you. I'll bring them by tomorrow. I got them on a card here. I just gave those to you.
I gotta go get cash. You gotta give me some advance notice. You know, because I can't be spending my money. You know, I'm broke. I got a roommate. I got
Lord.
bills.
I ain't
You want
all that.
10 G's. I want to give you 8.
Oh, Father. You got 8?
I don't have any cash. I just have a bunch of change.
You know what, Queen? I'm here for you. I'm here for you. I'm here for you.
You
Be
know what?
ignorant.
See, God. See how
Is that
God
aid?
works?
I asked for aid. God, thank you,
See how
Jesus.
God works.
He works.
Sunday. I
Yeah.
told the man, I said,
I'm telling you, your girl got my vote. It's better.
I told him the story. I came into your center and I said, "How mama looking?" You said, "Yeah, okay, but the boots." I said, "And you took me down to
And the kids
spray
hook
paint,
you up.
And they hooked me up. Is that a true story? That is
That's a true story?
And hers are the cutest boots ever.
I was saying, every 9-year-old I see you trying to jab me from my boots.
I
And
bet
then,
they do.
and
They
then,
can fit 'em.
also,
Them
when
little
when London first was appointed to the commissions, we sat down and had a meeting, and I got to find it. And we agree, we always agree to disagree. And that's one thing that's
I
so
love
important.
This sister. Will you let her make a new friend, Ace?
Ooh.
Me and
Okay.
we had a great talk.
Okay, well, we're gonna get to. Hey, will it be what were the conflict of interest? We had a debate at your place. If I request it.
Somebody rents it, they have to pay the rent.
Okay, I'm trying to get the Black Media to do one.
Okay.
Bye bye.